Here's the two-column website we're about to create, sized down to my iPhone, and you'll see the responsive video, pictures, navigation, all that. You don't need any of these images downloaded because they're already uploaded to the web, and I'm going to give the URLs while we're making it. First, we'll lay out all of the HTML, and then we'll go over to the CSS and fill out the basics, and then we'll do our media queries last to give the responsiveness to it. So here's what it's going to look like sized down, and let me just show you, let me run through it, and then I'll show you full width and size it back down to show how the media queries would work. I use QuickTime to screen record, so it doesn't look all that well, but you can get a gist of it here. If you haven't already done so, get your index.html file saved and open it up in your browser. So let's go ahead and start laying out our HTML page. So I'll do left angle bracket, exclamation point, doc type. We'll do lowercase HTML, right angle bracket. Now we'll do the HTML tag. I'll just do language English instead of English US. Do the head. And body. Then we'll close the HTML tag, and let's put our header info in there. So we'll do meta char set UTF-8, and I'll do the title, basic HTML5 responsive, and the title. Now I'm going to link to the style sheet that we're going to create later on. So we'll do link rel style sheet type text / CSS, and then we'll make it style.css. So close that tag. Then we'll do the meta for viewport for the device width, so meta name viewport. Content. Do width, device width. Width equals device width. Initial scale 1.0. And the last thing we'll do in our head is help out Internet Explorer users. So we'll put the Google URL in here. So http, and it's html5shiv.googlecode.com svn trunk / html5.js for JavaScript. So end that script and end the if IE. So now we can go down and start adding stuff to our body. So before we put in the HTML5 tags, let's just do a div wrapper. So we'll do div ID equals, in quotations, wrapper, and we'll end that tag. Now inside of that, we can get started with our HTML5 tags. We'll do header, close that header tag. Next thing we'll do is nav. And under nav we'll do the two different columns. So we'll have an aside and then we'll do ID, or class rather, sidebar. And we're doing class because we're going to have multiple aside sidebar. And then we'll do the same thing with the sections. So we'll do section class, and then we'll reference the section class and the aside class a few different times for each responsive section. So end the section tag. Under that we'll do footer, and I'll leave a little space because we'll have multiple asides and sections. Now in the header, let's start with our first, let's put the image in, the little logo there. So we'll do ahref equals quotations index.html. Now we'll add the image, so we'll do image source equals, and the URL is http://www.w3newbie.com/wp content uploads, and then it's going to be boxer_logo.png and close quotations. And we'll end the image tag and the link tag, which is A. So now it should show up. Now let's go down to our nav and create an unordered list for our menu or navigation. So we'll go UL, they'll end the unordered list. Now let's create our first list item. And this will be active. So we'll do ahref equals, and then just pound. I'm going to call mine intro and end the link. And let me just copy and paste this a few times. Take out the class active. I'm going to do size, play, food, but it doesn't really make a difference. So there it is without any style. Now let's go down and we'll create our first aside, and let's make a table. So we'll do table row and table data for the social icons. So I'll just use a table so it lines up. And you can get these URLs, I'll have a link in the description of the video so you can copy and paste the URLs if you want. So the first one we'll do is the Facebook logo or social icon. And now I'll just do the full URL so it functions. Now we'll do the image. First target blank so it opens up in a different page. I'll do image source. It'll be that WP content uploads. And then it will just be facebook.png. So end the image and the A. Now I'm just going to copy this, paste it on the next line. So copy and paste it 4 times. And the second one will be Twitter. And I'll just put mine in there even though I don't use it. And then YouTube. And the last one we'll do Google+. Now let me just change these image URLs. So first one's the second one's Twitter, YouTube, then Google _plus. There they are. One other thing we'll do to the social icons is let's add a div ID to it. So I'm just going to do div ID social. Now let's add a little content in our first section class. So I'm going to put an H3 title in, and then we'll do the image and then some dummy text underneath. So to get the dummy text, you just Google dummy text, but we'll get to it in a second. So I'll do H3 my boxer dog, then I'm going to do the image source equals quotation, and it's going to be similar to this URL, so it'll just be boxer1.png. Close the image out. And then let me do a paragraph, and I'll go get some dummy text, or you could type something in if you want. So just Google dummy text for this. I'll paste it in. Now let's go down and create our second aside. So we'll do aside class sidebar. And then close aside. And when we add our media query, these are going to show up in the order they do in the HTML page. But let's go look at it. Oh, and nothing will show up, as you see here, from our section classes and aside classes until we style it later. But we can just add some stuff for now. So let's copy and paste our first section class content and add it to the aside class here. And I'll just change the boxer image to boxer2.png and change this to size. Now let me add some more dummy text. I'll just add this text here, or you can go over there and get some. Now let's copy and paste this aside, and we'll do another aside class instead of doing a section, because the section is going to be the larger of the two columns. So I'll do play and change the image to 3. So now we'll do our section class, and this will be, nothing will show up yet. This will be the one with the video. So I'll copy and paste the H3 and the text. So now I'll put the paragraph in, and then we'll do the video. So copy and paste. Now let's create a div class for the video. So I'm just going to do div class vid and end the div. And I'm going to paste the video iframe in. You can use any YouTube video you want. I'm just going to use the same one I have here. So I'll go to it. Go down to share and embed, and then just copy the iframe information. Now I'll paste it. Okay. And the last thing we'll do to our HTML page is just create a little bit of footer content. So I'll just do a h3 tag and put Boxer Dog 2013, close the h3. So now, for some reason, most of this is showing up now. I thought we had to style it first. Anyways, let's go and create our CSS document. So we'll go up and do File, New Document. Let's save as style.css. Okay. Now we can get styling. So let's start with our body. And let's give it a background. I've already chosen the hex value. So it'll be pound DA D5 C1 semicolon. And now let's do a font. And I'm going to do Arial Helvetica. Now, if you go look at your color, kind of an ugly color. whatever. Now let me just get the H3 paragraph stuff out of the way. So let's do H3, text align center, text decoration, underline, and now let's do paragraph. We'll give it some padding, 2% padding, so it doesn't come to the edge of our sections, the sides. Now we'll do image, text align, center, and we'll give our image a max width of 100%. Height auto, width auto. If we refresh, look the same. Now let's do our wrapper. So I'm going to give the wrapper some margin and 0 auto, so it centers when we expand the page. We'll give it a max width of 980 pixels. So if we expand the page, we'll center. And we'll give it a width. See how there's the little, you need that little space there for when it's sized down, so that's why the width is 96%. I'll give it a background, hex value, C. You can see padding 2%. Border radius, let's do 10 pixels. Now if we refresh it, we're missing something. There we go. Okay. Now we can style our header. So all we have in the header is the logo, so we'll give it some padding. Give it a padding of 5 pixels and text align center, so the logo centers on the page. Now we'll do, next is our navigation. So we'll do nav, open and close. Let's give it a background color. So we'll do hex value pound A098805, just 885. Padding 0, margin 00. And let's give it a border radius of 5 pixels or 10. There we go. Now we need to style the unordered list. So let's go down and do nav UL. say list style none. And we'll want to give it some margin and padding. So we'll do margin left 7%. Give this some space. Padding 0. And now we can do our links. So nav lia. So let's give them a color, and I'll just do black 0 0 0. We'll tell it to block. And then we'll do float left. So now it should align horizontally. There we go. But our padding 20 pixels, we'll have to fix the social. Text decoration none. So the social is still hanging over here. We'll need to do a clear on both sides. So first we'll do our hover style. So nav a colon hover and nav li dot active a. So we'll have the first one active. So let's give it a background color. Do 322 F2C. The text color will be white. There we go. And now we'll need to do that clear both. So underneath the unordered list, we'll need to do, let's just do a div class clear fix. So we'll just do clear and the div back here we'll make a clear style. And this will push the social icons down. I don't think it's a good practice to do this, but it will fix it. So clear both. Refresh. And now it's dropped down. Next thing we'll do is we'll style this we'll style the social buttons. So we'll do the social div. And that was div ID. So we'll do pound social. Open and close. Text align center. Now we'll do the image, and we'll have to give the image a height and width. Some padding. So we'll do padding top 5 pixels, and we'll do height and width 50 pixels. Now let's style our section class. So we'll do dot left hyphen col for column. So let's give it a background color. We'll do that yellow type white. So it's DAD 5C1. Give it a width, and we need the width to be a percentage. So let's do 60%. And you can see it's there, but the images are still out of it. Next thing we'll do is we'll tell it to float. And we want it to float left. And then we'll do margin top. We'll give it 2% margin to separate things a little bit. And let's give it a border radius. And I guess we'll do 10 again. 10 pixels. Next thing we'll do is let's give similar properties we gave left column to the sidebar. So we can just do dot sidebar, and then we'll just copy and paste this stuff here in left column. Let me just copy and paste all of it. All we really need to change is the float, so we'll do float right. And we need to change the width. So this is going to be the smaller one, so we'll do 38%. Save it. We can go over here and refresh it, and then we'll see that right column start to form. Now the social has been pushed to the right. And let's figure out what's wrong with the pictures, because the pictures should be fitting by now. So we'll go back up to the image CSS. And let's see. Okay, dumb mistake. We need that semicolon after max width, so maybe you got that, but I missed it there. Now if I refresh, images should fit inside the section and aside. There we go. Now it's really starting to take its form, but the video isn't in there, so we need to do the video CSS. And then once we create our media queries, it will form the one column. I need to change this file extension, this URL here, and put http : in there, so go over to HTML to add it in, and then the video should show up. Now it's showing up, but let's go ahead and create our vid div class style, which is going to be very specific for iframes, iframe video, and for Google Map. So we'll do position relative, and then this is kind of odd, but we need to do padding bottom, and it's going to be 56.25%. Then we'll do padding top at 30 pixels. Give it a height 0. Overflow hidden. And if we refresh it, see now it's fitting in this sidebar, but the video is kind of off center. So now we need to do vid iframe, And so we'll tell it to display the video 100%. We'll do position, absolute, top 0, left 0. Now we'll need to give it a height and width of 100%. So width 100%, height 100%, and we can close that style. If we refresh it, let's see, go down, there it is, fits in there 100%. And then we need to do the footer. So since it's kind of overflowing when it's fully extend, let's do another div class clear. So I'm just going to go up and copy this and paste it down there. Then the footer should drop below the column once we refresh. So there it is. And okay. So let's give a quick footer style. And then we'll do our media queries. Okay, now for the fun part, we'll do our media query next. For the footer, I screwed up the background, but whatever. So I'll create a little CSS note to say this is where the media queries start. So media, then we'll do at media screen and max width 720 pixels, or 740 rather, sorry. Now we'll create our little brackets, and everything inside here will be our CSS for max width 740 pixels. So we'll do left col 100% for width, and then we'll need to do the same thing with the sidebar. So we'll do the same thing for sidebar, and then that's all we really need to do to have it resize into one column. So we'll go take a look at it. So now if we refresh it, here we go. And we size it down, form into one column at 740 pixels. There we go. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my next responsive website tutorial, which will have a drop-down navigation